Well, actually, I started out the day fast. I caught a keeper on my first cast this morning, and then my second cast, I lost a really nice fish that my split ring came loose on my zero spook, and the fish ended up getting my bait. But then late in the first period, I figured out a shade pattern where I could run with a drop shot, and I could fish sailboats and mooring buoys and swim platforms, anything that was off the bank, and in that 5 to 12 foot depth range, and catch some keepers. And it was enough to keep me in it, and keep me in the top 4. And so really, even the last period, I was running that shade pattern. But I happened to find a school of fish on a rock ledge late, about midway through the third period, and we lit it up. I mean, it was every single throw. It's the kind of place you dream about. And what's really cool about Major League Fishing is everybody actually gets to see me going through the process of finding it, not just fishing it, but hey, let's go try this and graph over it. Yeah, that looks perfect. Turn around and just start catching them every single throw, and it was magical.
What were you said drop shot was your best producer, but overall describe the rig and how you.
Sure. Well, and actually I caught several of my key fish on a tube also. An adjustment I had to make to really catch more fish on the spot. The rocks and the boulders were so big and so heavy, I kept breaking off with a 1/8 ounce drop shot weight. So I switched to a 1/16 ounce, and it allowed me to fish real slow over those boulders without hanging. And the same thing on the tube. I went down to a 1/8 ounce on the tube head. And what I would really do, I'd fish the spot as hard as I could with a drop shot, and when I made 8 or 10 casts and didn't catch one, I'd switch to the tube, and I'd light them up again for 8 or 10 more casts in a row, and when they quit biting the tube, I'd pick the drop shot back up and light them up again. So just kept showing them those 2 different offerings, alternating between the 2, and it was a fun spot.
What do you think held them there in that one area to be that grouped up?
Well, it's a large group of big boulders that's right on a drop, where it goes from about 5 or 6 feet on top right off into 30 feet. I mean, almost vertical to 30 feet. And so it's just a perfect summertime ledge. And there's lots of good perfect summertime ledges here. I was fortunate enough to pull up on one where school was in session.